Hi, it's Carolyn the Contest Queen, and I'm live. This is an impromptu TikTok live because I have been so busy. I've been a little nervous about scheduling a live because last week I went on a cruise with a fellow sweepstaker. No, I didn't win it, but I didn't pay for it. I'll tell you that story in a minute. And Wednesday, I leave for the annual National Sweepstakes Convention in Scottsdale, Arizona for 6 days. It's going to be so fun. And so I have masses of laundry to do, and I thought, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to sit here and fold laundry and answer all your sweepstakes questions because I love helping other people win because it's one of my favorite things to do. So if you have any questions about sweepstakes, contests, or giveaways, I will be happy to answer them. And that's actually something that I'm going to be doing at the convention. I'm speaking 3 times and having a couple of giveaways. So the first thing I'm talking about is RoboForm. So I'm doing a RoboForm 101. I am doing a how to win on TikTok speech. I'm part of an expert panel that they're putting together so people can ask several of us, just like you can ask me questions here. There's going to be an expert panel, so it's going to be Christy from Sweep Sheet, it's going to be me from Contest Queen, and it's going to be Tom Cavalli from I Win Contests. There may be a fourth, I'm not sure who that would be, because I'm not sure who's attending, but we're all going to be answering sweepstakes questions live there. It's not a public event, it's not filmed. You have to buy tickets. I also found out today they officially announced the dates for next year's event. It's August 1st to 4th, and it's going to be in Las Vegas. Oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. So if you're interested in attending the annual National Sweepstakes Convention, stay tuned because as soon as I have the details, it'll be on my website. Okay, oh no. Nicole says, she lost her IG luck with giveaways. Any tips? I used to win over 30 tags, but one not anymore. Oh, so you used to win. So let me be clear. I know it's so hard on text, right? So let me be clear. You frequently enter IG giveaways. You tag about 30 people. You used to win a ton. Now not so much, correct? I don't actually do well on Instagram either. Last year, I only won 2. Compared to the amount that I entered, not bad percentage. However, where I do well is 2 places. My local giveaways. So I have a list that I go to weekly. That's one of the things I actually organize in RoboForm. You can also organize it in your browser. Is have a list of every local media outlet to you. Now, your list is not going to be the same as my list because we probably live in 2 different places. So the idea is concentric circles, right? So if you, I don't know, let's pick a city. Nashville, Tennessee, right? So if you enter all the contests in Nashville that are open to local people, your odds are going to be better of winning than if you're entering for all of Tennessee or all of the USA, right? So your list, what you want to make in this list is the link to the contest page for every radio station, TV station, paper, and local businesses that you come across that frequently host giveaways. And if you do that, I think you'll see your wins go up. So what I do for that list is I check it once a week. I go through and I check it once a week to see what is new. The radio station ones, I love the radio station giveaways. There's 2 ways radio stations tend to give away prizes. One is on the radio. Now, they used to be call-in, but now they're changing. Now, a lot of them are register here. If you hear your name, you have 10 minutes to call in to play the game. Or text this keyword and you're in the draw. Or text us, and if you get a call back, you win. That's my daughter won last year for the birthday game they had. What they did was they would spin a wheel, and if it landed on your birth month, you could text in. If they called you back, you automatically won $500. If they spun the second wheel and landed on your birthday, you won $5,000. So it was May, and I started screaming in the house, text, text, text. So I've been doing this since before she was born, so of course she texts in. Oh my gosh, maybe I should start folding laundry while I'm talking, right? Otherwise, it's massive. I have like 5 baskets here. Anyway, so I scream, and she never answers her phone if she doesn't recognize the number. Well, I could hear her phone start vibrating, and she wasn't going to answer it because it was like an unknown number. And I kind of look at her, and she thinks to herself, oh, wait a minute, I was expecting a call, and she picks it up. It was them, and she'd won $500. I was like, always, 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 always pick up your phone if you enter sweepstakes. It's a hobby. Anyway, so do concentric circles. I have very good luck with the radio stations. Then use a sweepstakes aggregate. You might call them sweepstakes sites, but basically what they do is they aggregate all the legitimate sweepstakes in one place. I recommend starting with a free site, and then once you get the hang of the hobby, graduate to a paid site because they have more features. But it's good to get your feet wet. So I would start with maybe Sweepstakes Fanatics is very popular. The free version of Sweepstakes Advantage, people like. There's Sweepstakes Today, people like that one. So there's a bunch of them. I have a whole list on my website. You can go and poke around and see what you like. So use those free ones to get started. And then once you get the habit of it. Last year, I had the best year I'd had in forever. And I had 3 big wins, and they were all for national sweeps. And I hadn't had that for a while. So I would try that. But don't give up your IG, because those are really easy to do in your downtime. So if you're waiting in line for something, you can always fire off a few. Or if you love watching a movie at night, like sometimes I sit with George and we'll be watching TV, and of course I'll be watching, but I'm also entering my sweepstakes. He bought me, actually, I don't know, can you see it behind me? I don't know, I think, yeah, see, so I have a little Chromebook, and he bought me this like little table for Christmas because I was using a TV tray, and my computer kept sliding off, my mouse kept sliding off. He bought me that table, so I'll sit with my cup of tea, and we'll be watching a movie, and I enter, and it's so good. And thank you for the heart. And yeah, it's such a great way to spend time together and win. And he doesn't get grumpy about it. I think he was a little annoyed when we first started dating, and I would do stuff like that. But then I have won us like a number of trips. I've won 3 trips since I met him, and like so many. Like one summer we were going to a concert like every 2 weeks. I won like 7 concert tickets that summer. Like it was ridiculous. One week we went on a Thursday and we went on a Friday. I was so dog tired, and the second one I'm like, wow, I'm way too old to be doing this anymore. But anyway, but it was so good. Like we went to so many shows, and it was all free. So date night, I mean, you're just paying for, well, when my daughter was little and I was married, we'd have to always pay for a sitter too. But now it's just basically gas, parking, maybe something to eat if we choose. But it makes date night really inexpensive, because if you're going out anyway, now the concert is free. So it was a lot of fun. And then sometimes we win off a win. Like one time we won concert tickets. The Canadian National Exhibition was on, which is like a fair. When you had the concert tickets, you could get into the exhibition for free. So we got into the exhibition. I had seen online, maybe it was even Instagram, one of the local hotels had a big display, and you could win a new mattress. So we went down there. You had to answer a questionnaire, and you had to do 5 minutes on a Peloton, and then you had to take a picture and post it on social media. That was August. I guess somebody forgot. In January, I know, 5 months later, right? January, I get a message from them saying, congratulations, you won our contest. I was like so happy, because he had a really nice mattress, but I didn't like it. My hips did not like it. I was so stiff every morning, and then we got the new mattress. So happy. And so I won a good sleep. Oh, tell you, can't put a price on that. And that's a win off a win. So I won the tickets, and then I won the mattress because I entered. Like it's really fun to do that kind of thing. And I just love that. So that's what I would do. I would do all the other giveaways first, because there's so many giveaways that are not on Instagram. And I think also because Instagram's easy and a lot of people are on Instagram and they see it, I think it's getting a little saturated unless people are entering the other giveaways. I think your odds are better on some of the other ones. And if you want to meet with some fellow sweepers, if you want to see what it's all about, I host club meetings, virtual contest club meetings, approximately every 2 weeks. And the dates change, so I try to do them different days and nights of the weeks, because not everybody, say, can attend like on a Monday, but so then sometimes I'll have it on Wednesday. Sometimes I have them on the weekends, because we have people. We have one lady that likes to attend from Alaska, but of her time difference, and same with some people just work. Like one of our club members that likes to come, she does night court, like she's a stenographer or something, and so of course she can't come during the evenings, and so I host them on the weekends, and I don't do them on the weekends in the summer because everybody's busy in the summer and they don't want to come to a meeting on a Saturday or Sunday so the next weekend meeting is in September, but that's what we do. Anyway, let's see. Any other questions? No, there's no immediate questions. But anyway, let me talk about the convention, because that's the thing that I'm folding all the laundry for. So I was away for a week. So let me tell you about the cruise and how I ended up on a cruise for free that I didn't win, and I went with a fellow sweeper, which is totally crazy. So wind back the clock to 2008. So there used to be far more conventions, sweepstakes conventions. There was a lot of minis, and sadly, they're either not being held anymore, or the creators have passed away. Like, we used to love going to one in Detroit every spring, and it was run by the Michigan Wolverine Sweepstakes Club. It was like a spring banquet, they would call it. It was a one-day event, and it was run by Al Sayward, who was one of the loveliest people you'd ever want to meet. And unfortunately, he passed away in 21 in summer, so there was no more of his events. And so, yeah, it just makes me sad that he's gone, but he used to do the best events. So really now there was the Tar Heel banquet this spring in North Carolina that I attended. If you go back in my feed, you can see I did like a mini montage of the event. And I did a blog post on my website about how crazy fun it was. Oh my God, it was so much fun. And then, and there's actually one in Memphis. If you can't, National's sold out. But Memphis, there's one in Memphis on the October, I want to say 9, 10, 11, or the 13th rings a bell. Anyway, it's in the middle of October. It's in Memphis, Tennessee. And that one's a mini, so it's like a Friday night and all day Saturday. Maybe Sunday morning? I don't think so. I think it's just Friday night and Saturday. And that one's going to be really fun. Unfortunately, I can't attend because we were already booked for October. And then next year, the Sweepstakes Convention is in Las Vegas. I'm so excited. As soon as I have details, I'll be posting them on the website. But it will be August 1st to 4th, so I'm buying my ticket. I'm registering at the Sweepstakes Convention. That is going to be so fun. Anyway, so in 2008, I was in the Hershey Mini. Carol ran that for maybe about 6 years in a row, Carol McLaughlin, of the, what was the name of her sweepstakes club? I can't remember. Anyway, so her sweepstakes club held this mini convention. And it is in the real Hershey. You can go, we used to go to the factory outlet, and they have a tour. And then they have, oh my God, chocolate like you've never seen. Actually, is it on the couch? Or did it get tossed? Oh, it's over here. I bought this years ago because I had to have it. It's a pillow for the couch, but it looks like a huge chocolate bar. And they have them all. They have the Reese's peanut butter cups. They have the Twizzlers. They have all of them. But that's the one I like the best. And he said, I'm like, who doesn't want it? I didn't win it. I bought it. Oh, she says, Kelsey says, my mom's been super good at winning stuff. I've never been. Well, that's about to change. This is something, part of winning is you have to believe you're a winner. So if you're entering and you go, I don't know why I'm entering. My mom wins, I don't win. If you put out that energy, you're not going to win. So here's what I want you to say. I'm so excited that my luck is changing. And then as you're entering, just say to yourself, I wonder if this is the first one that I'm going to win in this shift. And then as you continue to enter, because after you win your first one, you'll be, I wonder if this is the one I'm going to win. I wonder if this is the one I'm going to win. This is very exciting. It's like a game. I don't know which one I'm gonna win. Holy cow, how fun. And they start to get, they will show up. You really have to believe it. Helene, actually, I just pulled out one of these books. Helene Hatzel wrote this book. She has a great story in here about a woman. I think it's in this. Yeah, so she has it in here in the chapter called Supplies for the Contester. She wrote, the first part of the book was written in 1971. And then when she did a second edition in 1988, they added a whole second half. So this is how she keeps record of how she's, how she's entering. But she says here, so in those days you'd mail in, okay? So she said, don't begrudge the postage money spent. So you can use it, say, your time in this case. When I stamp my envelopes before I mail them off, I mentally project positive energy with each envelope thinking, here goes another winner that will bring me back my end result. So it's the same thing. When you're entering online, ooh, this is exciting stuff. So you're still doing it, the same energy projection, you're just doing it with online. And then she writes, I love this story. This is one of my favorite stories in the book because it really shows don't be like the woman I once had as a neighbor. One evening she called and asked if she could drive to the post office with me. We talked earlier over the fence and she knew I was going to make a trip later. Like, nobody does that anymore, right? She entered contests half-heartedly because she knew I kept winning things. So it's like you and your mom, right? She wins stuff. When we reached the post office, she leaned out to deposit her entries in the curb letter box. As she slipped them in the slot, she turned to me and said, well, there goes nothing. I was dumbfounded. She never did win anything while I knew her. Later, she moved out of the neighborhood and took her gloom with her. And then she says, we all have our down periods occasionally, but if it is a consistent thing, it really is the pits. If this happens to you, make a considerable effort to get back into a positive frame of mind. Read something uplifting, listen to violin music. It is one of the most uplifting, soothing sounds one can experience. Remember, you are in control of your thinking. Change it if it's pulling you down. Like, she knew her stuff. So that's what I want you to do. Yeah, you can shift it. You can shift it. And like I was saying to Nicole, she was having trouble on Instagram giveaways. Also, switch up your pattern or maybe copy your mom. Like, what is she good at winning? Right? If she's got a system for winning, maybe copy it because she's not going to win everything she enters. Sadly, it's impossible. People think, because you win, if you enter consistently, you win consistently. It's not rocket science. It's like going to the gym consistently or eating healthy consistently. You're going to get results and they're going to be consistent. It's the same, right? So if you're consistent with that kind of stuff, hang on, I need another pile of clothes here. Now I'm going to dump out a hamper. Don't get a sock in the tea. That wouldn't be very good. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you got to be consistent, right? Like the sweepers that win consistently enter consistently. They enter for about an hour to 2 hours a day. Now, here's something to be said, and I know it's true that consistency makes a difference, because I have been so busy this past year. I have not been entering consistently, and my wins are way down. And it's a direct correlation between the amount that I'm entering and the amount that I'm winning. Again, it's the same thing with everything that you do, right? Consistency leads to results. So, I think if you do that, you will see those results. And hopefully, I'm going to get back to it, but before December 31st, I need to publish 2 paperback books and 3 Audible books. So, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there with the sweepstakes books. So the first one is a book called Prizes Everywhere, which I've been working off and on for a couple of years. It's ridiculous. I'm like, okay, I just have to sit down and finish it. The is going to be the first book from Tag Powell that I'm redoing, and that's called Money and You, which is going to be fun. And along with that, I'm going to have some tape sets to go. So we're building the website. Words for Winning is being built right now. So that's kind of exciting. And look at this. This is all the stuff. We're going to the Sweepstakes convention. There's 2 Canadians, and I buy all these like t-shirts and stuff to wear at the Sweepstakes convention. So basically my friend and I live in red and white for the whole time. But I buy these really inexpensive t-shirts, and you can see that the entire seam just twists. I'm like, I don't know why I buy the $4 t-shirts. I really should buy the quality ones, but anyway, it's probably something just to wear at the pool. It's in Scottsdale, Arizona. It is 120 degrees there right now, apparently. Oh my goodness, that's going to be fun. Anyway, so let's go back to the story about Wendy and how I ended up. So I meet Wendy at a sweepstakes convention in 2008. And she was speaking at the conference on blog contests. And they've really died down. I still host them sometimes, but they're not great. I've been using Gleam and things. I might have to start paying for that one, but that'll come. The time will come for that. Anyway, so she was talking about blog contests, and she sat down with me. So I knew her for a few years, but then when I was going through my divorce and I needed to be out of the house for a little while, I went on a road trip and I did workshops in I think I did workshops in 12 cities, and I did television interviews, and I did radio interviews. I did all these things along the way, and I gave away like $6,000 in prizes. I had all these companies donate prizes that I was giving away at every workshop that I was doing. It was so much fun. But because I was in the middle of a divorce, there was no money for this trip. So I basically couch surfed the entire trip. And Wendy was my New York stop. So I hadn't spent that much time with her in the past. And when I got to her house, it was 6 o'clock at night. She used to live in this really fab double wide trailer. And I get to her house at 6 o'clock at night, and we sit down and we start eating and talking, and we look up and it's midnight, like 6 hours gone by. We've been besties ever since. Anyway, and I'm going to tell you right now, sweepers are the best part of the hobby that I ever discovered. Like, I always joke that until I win a car, sweepers are the best part. Right? Oh, I'm losing a sock here. Sweepstakers are the best part of the hobby, because they're just so much fun. And you go on adventures and you make, lifelong friends. Anyway, Wendy messages me. So actually, there's even more to the story. So here I am, doing the Audible version of the Name It and Claim It game. Now, I love all the motivational, inspirational type books. I've been reading them for years. My dad handed me a book when I was 18 and said, if I can teach you at 18 what I learned at 36, you'll be way ahead of me. So I've heard that you could speak your existence, like speak your desires into existence, like literally speak them. And you kind of think that's poppycocky. So here I am with this book. I'm doing the Audible book. And I read this story about a woman who, it's in the chapter called Winovers for Wishcraft. I know I don't have the flipped on, mirrored. It's Winovers for Wishcraft. So, there was a woman, well, why don't I just read, I did a little TikTok on it, but I'll read this. She says, Helene writes, one of the finest publication that goes into detail on a plan to accomplish a goal is titled, It Works, the famous little red book that makes your dreams come true by R.H.J. I have it on Kindle. I think Kindle is very cheap. And you don't even need a Kindle to have it. You can just download the Kindle app. You don't even have to buy a Kindle. She writes, as I lecture throughout the United States, I get questions from the audience regarding particular situations. I also ask them if they wish to write and tell me their experiences of how they obtain their end result. The following is an incident that happened to a student. I don't enter contests, and I don't feel that I can afford the money out of the family budget for my desire, she said. Her desire was to take a trip to the Bahamas. Seems like one of her friends had taken the leisure cruise and had related how great it was. It so impressed the student that she too wanted to make the voyage. Her husband, however, did not share her enthusiasm, nor did he care to go. That did not dampen her desire. She still wanted it for herself. I suggested that she continue to project energy and know that her wish would come true. 4 weeks later is when I received a postcard with a picture of a ship postmarked from the Bahamas. The card merely stated, I named it, and I'm now claiming it, and her signature. Upon her return home, she wrote me the details of how this all came about. While taking art classes, she got acquainted with one of the other students in her class. The student, who was a distributor for women's cosmetics, told the lady that the company she worked for was having a sales promotion, and the person in each district with the largest sales would win a trip to the Bahamas. She was confident she would win the trip. To date, she had submitted the largest amount of sales. That is when the student told her of her desire to take such a trip. The lady wished her artist friend success on her win and hoped the trip would be all that she had dreamed. A week later, she received a phone call from the artist friend. She had won the trip and was ready to leave when her son suddenly became ill and had to undergo an appendectomy. She couldn't leave under these conditions, and she knew of no one in her family that could make or want a trip on such short notice. If it was not taken, it would be lost, as it was a pre-planned package deal. So if she wanted the trip, it was hers, free, no strings attached. Of course, she accepted and was elated because the experience was everything she had hoped for. She confessed that she was amazed at how quickly everything fell into place. Now, I read that story on a Wednesday. Now, Helene Hadsel was also Jose Silva's assistant. If you have read or have heard of the Silva method or the Silva mind control method, that is who Jose Silva is. Mind Valley also teaches this program. So I am assisting Silva Canada with a weekend intensive workshop in mid-May. So here I am assisting them like Helene used to assist Jose. Total paralleling here. We're doing the program because even though so I attend most of it, but I did duck in and out earlier because I was in charge of all the refreshments and making sure everybody was okay. He had a team of volunteers helping. Anyway, that was Wednesday I read it. By Saturday of the weekend intensive, I get a text from my friend Wendy. And she says to me, can you go on a cruise? I'm like, I don't really have any money right now because I'm doing 3 audio books and 2 print books, so I'm putting out all the costs for that. And she said, no, Mike broke his leg. He dumped his motorcycle. He can't go. he's fine, but he can't go on the cruise. Do you want his ticket? I'm like, sure. What do I have to do? She goes, get your butt to Miami. So I got my butt to Miami. What's really cool is day 5 of the cruise, we went to Bimini. And Bimini is in the Bahamas. I literally spoke a free cruise to Bimini. Like, what? So I just got back in time to unpack and repack and go to the convention. I have to show you the bag. I'm going to flip the camera around because this is crazy. Where do I flip it? I think it's down here. Flip camera. So that suitcase has 0 clothes in it at the moment. I have my packing cubes on top. But that up to the brim, literally the brim, is prizes that I'm donating to the Sweepstakes convention, but couldn't pre-ship. So I've already pre-shipped 3 boxes, but this is the stuff that I couldn't pre-ship. So this is the stuff I'm taking with me. I'm taking 1 suitcase. That's why you see the packing cubes, because it's the only way I'm going to be able to take any clothes. I messaged the convention to tell them like what I was bringing. And I'm like, I don't think there's room for clothes. They're like, clothes are overrated. Just bring your bathing suit because it's 120. Like, I won't need clothes. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, clothes are overrated. Yeah, so the convention, yeah, so it's all prizes right now. So hence the mass amount of laundry, because I was gone for a week and then I had all my, travel clothes, and then I just washing them all and I'm taking them to the convention. This is crazy fun. And I've made friends for life. I don't know how many people are attending this one. I think it's about 750 people from all over the United States and 2 Canadians, just for good measure. Why not? We got to represent. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And so, and the screaming, like there's so much screaming and cheering and stuff. It's so fun. You think you're at a rock concert. I remember that in the 2012 one, we were in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was the final draws, the big draws at the banquet, where they give away like cash and, the bigger prizes, like packs of $500 gift cards and things. And there was so much screaming that half the staff from the hotel that wasn't like immediately required came and were standing at the back of the room, gobsmacked at what we were doing. Because they have conventions there all the time. And they had never seen a crowd like ours, positive and happy and cheering. That year, we even had a wedding at the convention. Oh my gosh. So in between breaks, there was a couple that, they're like, well, who do we love the most? All of us, all of their friends. And so they got married on the stage. And one of the sweepers was also an officiant. So they had him do it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And yeah, that was kind of cool. Anyway, so I spoke that cruise into existence. So now I'm actually going to the convention with Wendy. I have been, so since 2013, we went to Boston. We went to the Orlando one together, the Boston one together, the last Las Vegas one together. We're going to this one, and we've been to like 2 New York ones. There was minis, plus I would just sometimes drive to her house, like on a mini vacation. I would just drive to her house because she was so close to New York. And so then, we'd go and get on the train and be in Penn Station and hang around the city. So she would always try to win stuff the week I was coming. And then, so we've been to some shows together and things. It was so fun. It was so fun. Yeah, we would do that. And I'm like, where would I meet, such positive people if it wasn't for the Sweepstakes conventions? And it's really good because I learn something new at every convention. As much as I teach people, the hobby is forever changing, especially now. It's much more rapid. I mean, just look at the apps. All these apps change so quickly that, you know, what I teach you on how to win today, it can be completely moot tomorrow, right? Like we don't know. The algorithms are changing. The features are changing, all that kind of stuff. So you just don't know how they're. Oh wait, is this the blue pair? Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I have them, because if it's the ones that I'm taking, I gotta chuck it in the pile over there. Let's see. No, these are all clothes from last week. These. Oh, I was looking for these shorts to wear today. I couldn't find them. Now I know why. They were in the laundry. So that's actually something that's really fun. Shopping with gift cards. I actually did that yesterday. I kept forgetting I had one in my wallet for the grocery store. That's and so yesterday I went in, and because I just came back from the cruise, and it's the last day. It was the last day of the month, so the funds are a little low. Being self-employed, you know, funds come and go on certain days. So of course you have to wait till the first of the next month, at least in my case. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to try this gift card. I couldn't remember how much is on it. Paid for all my groceries. And there's still money left over on it. And I'm like, this is why I like sweepstaking. I totally forgot. Anyway, Wendy and I are going to meet up in Scottsdale, Arizona. Susan, who was with me last year, is coming. If you go to my website, contestqueen.com, you can read about last year's convention. I'm going to try to be better this year and blog as I go, which isn't always easy, but I might do that. I might take my Chromebook in with me. I don't travel with my big laptop for work. It's too much. It's heavy, and I can't afford to have anything happen to it. So I bought that fantastic little Chromebook, and it's perfect. I can sweep on it. I can do work on it. And the only thing I can't do is my email, which I do on my phone. And there you go. Bob's your uncle, as they say. So that's what we're doing. Let's see. Any other questions about sweepstakes while I'm folding laundry? No, there's no other questions, but I'm going to talk about the convention. So what happens at a convention, which is something people wonder about, because people are nervous to go, you know, because they don't know what to expect. And I tell you, the first time I went, I was gobsmacked. I was with my ex at the time. I call him my husband because I think it sounds better than ex. Ex sounds so harsh. And so I was with my husband, and we booked so late. We were at the hotel next door. So they had an overflow hotel next to the convention hall. And this was in 2005. And it was in Moline, Illinois that year. It was the 16th annual National Sweepstakes Convention. So I think this year is 34, but don't quote me. So this might be the 34th annual National Sweepstakes Convention this year. Anyway, we were in Moline, Illinois, and we show up, and the next morning at the hotel, I'm with Craig, and we're sitting there having breakfast, and I said, I know all these people. I'd never met any of them. I'm like, but I know them. Like, it was a weird feeling. And then I got into the convention, the actual convention hall, and I'm like, this is it. People were treated me like I had been coming for years. And I said, I have found my tribe. We're coming every year. Now, unfortunately, there was a couple of years I couldn't go, but I think this is number 13. So I went 2005, 6. So 2005, Moline, Illinois. 2006 was Scottsdale, Arizona, which I'm going back to. I'm so excited. 2007 was Detroit, Michigan. 2008 was San Antonio, Texas. So next year, the year after, it's going back to Texas, but I don't know the city. So that's going to be fun because I love Texas. Then 2009, it was in Manchester, New Hampshire, which it was again last year. 10, it was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 11 was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. 12 was Atlanta, Georgia. 13 was Salt Lake City, Utah. 14 was, I think 14 was Orlando. 15 was Boston. 2016 was Las Vegas. 2017 was a cruise, so this is where I started to miss them. Because I couldn't have, the cruise was not well, the pricing was off, and I couldn't take a whole week. 2017 was a cruise. 2018 it went to San Diego, California. 2019, I don't remember where it was. I know 2020 it was supposed to be back to Manchester, New Hampshire, but then everything locked down. 21 it went to Scottsdale, Arizona. 2022 it went back to Manchester because they didn't get to have one, and they called it, there's always a theme, and that one was called Double Vision. So funny. Like, let's try this again. 2020, because before it was 2020, like 2020 vision. So then they called it Double Vision. And then this year it's back to Scottsdale, Arizona. It's called Lucky AZ 2023, something like that. And then next year it's in Las Vegas, and the year after that it's going to Texas again. So it moves around. And I tell you, so what happens is on the first day, it's always a Thursday to Sunday. Thursday, it's an evening get together with all your fellow sweepers. It's what they call a meet and greet. Sometimes there's refreshments, sometimes there's not. There's always games and a pick a prize. The pick a prize is usually all the donated prizes. So I've donated, like, a huge chunk of that is a huge pick a prize that I've donated to the event with all kinds of sweets and treats from Canada. So that's what my pick a prize donation is. And then, so you get so many tickets, and you can just go put them in anything you want to win. And actually, I was part of the Facebook group for the convention, and they were having draws for all the people that were participatory. And I won 20 extra tickets for the pick a prize. So that's going to be fun. But I'm also going to share it with my roommates, because Susan won $100 off the room, and then I won the extra tickets. So that's what we're doing. We're just splitting the extra prizes. And then, so that's what we're doing. It's good. We're just sharing and having fun. Then, oops, hang on. I got all the laundry under my feet here. It's too hard to fold there. Okay, that's this bunch. Okay, now we're cooking with gas, as they say. So the Thursday night, like I said, is a meet and greet. And then people usually stay up late because they haven't seen each other in forever. Oh, and there's also a vendor's room. It used to be full of people selling sweepstakes supplies, but since hardly anybody's mailing in anymore, it's usually fun and games and different activities that you can go and do there. Then Friday morning, so then Friday there's a session, and there's usually a combo of speakers and prizes. Of course there's prizes. It's the Sweepstakes convention. And then there is, let me just put these here. So then, and there's different topics, different topics. Like I gave you the 2 topics that I'm talking on, which is RoboForm and TikTok sweepstakes. But someone might be talking about social giveaways. They used to have people talking, I've heard people talk about the ergonomics of sweeping, like how not to have a sore back when you're sitting out writing hundreds of envelopes. Taxes on prizes. I've heard how to Google to win, how to do video contests when they were just YouTube style giveaway contests on YouTube. I've heard people talk on, what are some of the other subjects? Just pretty much anything and everything to do with every aspect of the hobby. Oh, we've had postal workers speak. How to spot a scam. We've had that. All kinds of things. So then and then they do that. Then there's a lunch break, and then we do the same thing again Friday afternoon. Friday evening is free. There's usually optional excursions where our little gang is going to the casino. So they've arranged free shuttles from the hotel to the casino. And so we've signed up for that. So we're just going to go to the casino, gamble, have fun. A lot of sweepers love gambling. So there's usually that excursion. But I've been to ones where, for example, in New Hampshire, the Fisher Cats are the farm team for the Toronto Blue Jays, who I'm a fan of. So they actually usually have a baseball game, and they pay, I think we paid like $35 a ticket that got us into the game. It was like a shirt night, so we got a shirt. Our team was in an area back in the bleachers, and they had a buffet for us because there was so many people. So that was fun. And actually that game, I got a game ball. So, and in Atlanta, we went to a baseball game. One time my ex and I, in Moline, we went on the optional dinner cruise. They had like a steamboat. So there's optional things. Now you pay for those. It's separate. You pay for those. But they help arrange them. And so you get a better deal because you're coming with the convention, and they get you a better price or whatever because they go, hey, we got 700 people coming. Can you give us a price and we'll book people to your event? Oh, in Boston, we did a trolley tour of the city. I can't remember what else we had. Anyway, so there's occasional things. And Saturday morning, again, is the big speakers and prizes. And then Saturday afternoon, speakers and prizes. Now, due to cost, it used to be where we'd have an evening banquet, and it would go to like for hours giving out big prizes. The cost of food has gone up, so the conventions tend to be switching to less expensive meals. So this year it's going to be a luncheon buffet. I think it's a buffet, or we're served lunch. Anyway, either way, it's lunch. It's cheaper than dinner because they want to spend the money on the prizes, not on food. So, Saturday afternoon is a lunch, and then we have the evening off. And then Sunday morning, last year, they did a Sunday morning brunch where they gave out prizes, the big prizes. And then by noonish, it's done, and we all go home. Usually, depending on if I'm driving. So last year, because I drove, we basically got in the car and drove home after that because it was in New Hampshire. But this one, when I have to fly, I don't like to fly out the same day. I want to relax and enjoy myself a little bit. So actually, all three of us are not flying out till Monday. So we have all Saturday afternoon to hang out, to chat, nap, whatever we want to do. Hang out by the pool, go shopping, who knows, whatever. Well, I'll be getting rid of all those prizes, so I'll definitely have room in my bag for stuff to come home. Holy cow. Anyway, hi, Angela. I spotted Angela. I think I had her live on here before. It's nothing like sweepers. Are you coming to the convention? She's in Atlanta, but I don't think she came to the 2012. Yes, I am at the convention. I was just talking about it. No. Oh, okay. You have to come next year. Yeah, I think you're reading I saw you on Facebook about your dad, so I'm going to send you some prayers for your family. But maybe things will line up for next year. It's going to be in Las Vegas, and it's August 1st to 4th. They announced the dates, but I don't have like the website. They don't make the website live or anything until the actual convention. Yeah, so actually it probably worked out that you didn't book because maybe somebody in the universe knew that you needed to be at home with your dad. More important. Yeah, so it's going to Vegas, so that would be fun. I know, right? And then after that's going to Texas, but I don't know where. And I love Texas. And I keep thinking I want to go back to see Dyke Hadsel. So I'm thinking I might drive to that one and make it like last time when I went down because I was doing business. I drove down in 3 days. I spent 3 days there, and I drove back in 3 days. I was exhausted. So I think this time I would do it a little bit slower. Yeah. So we'll see how that's going to pan out. Okay, I'm dumping out another load of laundry here. Oh my God, I have so many baskets of laundry. I'm going to just put one behind me because I ran out of floor space now. Yeah, it was a lot. But I still would like to see Dyke again. I don't know. I just feel like I need to go back. I just feel like I want to go back. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back. Anyway, I had all this laundry to fold, so I thought I'd come on because I've hardly been doing TikToks because I've been a little bit busy and been on the cruise, and now I'm going to the convention. And then when I get back, like I was telling people earlier, I have 2 books to finish, and yeah, lots of stuff. But before I go, I have to finish editing the first round of Audible, part 1. So the book is in 4 parts now. It was in 3, but the problem was, and this is where this is very interesting, when you speak a book, it doesn't sound the same as when you read a book. So the order I had it in made sense to me, but the producer said that doesn't make sense when you're reading it. So I had to shift the book around. And so all the bonus material, which I had just put at the end of part 3, I've actually cordoned off, and now it's part 4. Even though I didn't actually add or take away anything from the book, I just made it a more distinctive section so people know that it wasn't part of Helene's original work. So it makes more sense in the flow of material. Because she wrote a bunch of stuff after that fact and added it into a version she printed at home herself. I'm in the living room, so I don't have any copies of it. But she basically literally printed them, Surlocked them, and with the technology at the time, she also wasn't technical. So 2 things I am that she wasn't. I'm business savvy, and I'm extremely organized, and I'm tech savvy. I guess that's 3 things. So she didn't, and you gotta remember, this is 2008. She's 83, she's 84 at the time. She's 84, and she's editing a book with the technology back in the day. So you gotta go, that's pretty good, lady. She kept adding to the book. Like her thirst to teach people in life just never waned. And so she was still writing and teaching it right up to the year she died, because the latest edition of the Name It and Claim It game that I found was dated 2010, the year she passed away. She passed away in October. So sometime in that year, she was still writing. Like, amazing. Right? Yeah, you said, wow, amazing. Totally amazing that she did that. Yeah, I really loved Helene. I wish I had spent more time with her, but it is what it is. So anyway, so that's how the conventions work. That's how I ended up on a cruise before this convention. Yeah, and it's just the best hobby. I know you've been a little busy with your family, Angela, but have you been entering anything? Like, I know, and that's actually something that should be made a point. It's okay to take a break in the hobby if life comes and shifts you around a little bit. You can turn around and take a break. Like, I'm not entering as much as I would like, but I have to this weekend because oh yeah, that's right, you have a charm business. Go follow Caruso's Treasures. She does the coolest little TikTok videos on the funnest stuff. Absolutely. And but yeah, we all do lots of things. Yeah, and you had to take a break. And that's the nice thing about this hobby, is that, one, you make friends. Like, when would I have ever met Angela? She lives near Atlanta. She wouldn't come across my path. But because of this hobby, I have been blessed to meet her and make friends. And, that's just so fun. And then you just talk about things and you support each other. And I don't know. I I just love this community. We're just so good to each other. And you never, and so you can take a break from sweepstakes because guess what? It's going to be there. I have marketing books with sweepstakes, talking about sweepstakes as a marketing tool back to the 1900s. This hobby's been around for well over 120 years. It's not going anywhere. So if you're taking a break because, life, when you're ready to come back, you're so starstruck when you met me. I'm this messy human. That's so funny. And I love you because you are so fun. Everyone has to go and watch the video that I did with Angela and her sister. Hysterical. And here's what's really funny. There's people that enter for decades, nothing. I still haven't won a car. My friend Carol, 40 years, and she finally won a car. Angela saw sweepstakes. I can't remember what year. Maybe it was around 2005. Or maybe earlier. I don't remember the year. But anyway, she encourages her sister to enter. She's like, this is a good sweepstakes. You got to enter. Her sister enters her first sweepstakes. 2007. I knew I was close. I knew I was in that arena. 2007, her first sweepstakes. She wins a trip to Daytona. Not only does she win the trip to Daytona, she won a car. Her first sweepstakes. People enter for decades to win a car. Boom, she won a car. Beginner's luck. And does she still enter? I can't even remember. We had that interview. Does she? She probably doesn't enter. Anyway, it's like you don't know. This is why I tell people, you don't know which one's going to win. You could win the car on your very first try, or you could be like Carol and enter for 40 years, and it takes you that long to win a car. But that's what's really fun about the hobby. You just don't know what you're going to win and when. It's so fun. And like I said, the thing that I love the most is the people that I've met. Like, just the nicest people, especially when I was going through my divorce and I was so lost. And people were saying to me, come visit, hang out, like just really great people that just, I wouldn't have made it through my divorce without the sweepstakes community. That's for sure. Yeah, you've been slacking. Well, because family things come first. Like, that's important. And that's okay. And that's what I tell people. Like, don't stress if you can't enter, a little bit. It's not the end of the world. And guess what? The hobby will be there when you come back and you're ready. And like I said, if you want to, if you're at the hospital and your dad's sleeping, just pull out your phone and enter some Instagram giveaways and talk to him about what you're seeing. Look, Dad, I found this good one. He'll just probably think it's a hoot. He's sleeping and his old subconscious is hearing all your crazy adventures. You have skills. You just automatically enter things more than... Yeah, once you have the skills, you just automatically enter things more than most people. It's true. That's where your brain goes. And I found... the term for it. It's called, I did a video on it because I learned it from Pat Mahan. I think it's called fractional. Oh my gosh. I had to copy it from Wikipedia. Anyway, what happens is once you start looking for the word win, it's in your subconscious. And your subconscious filters out tens of thousands of things every day. But if it deems it to be important, it gets through. So you see the word win, and because it's important to you, it gets through. So you will spot a sweepstakes. I call it spotting a win at 100 paces. I can spot the word win at 100 paces. And I'll even snap my head. If I think I see a potential sweepstakes to enter, I'll be like, what was that? Did I just see a billboard? Or the sweepstakes will be coming on the radio? Hear the thing, and I'll be like, shh, 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 shh. I need to listen. Shh. Right? So funny. Just don't talk. I'm listening. But, yeah, too funny. Too funny. So anyway, I just bought a clover wax. Oh, clover wax seals today for my journal, but it's directly from Sweepstakes. Oh, that's very cool. Hey, do you do sweepstakes or lucky journals? That is so, because, oh, she needed a vision journal, like a vision board for sweepstakes. Here, I'm going to show you something. I packed it. I get these from the dollar store, but they're pink and I would love other colors. You should make one and I can give some away. This says ask for what you want and expect to get it. Oh, and be prepared to get it. So I give these out as like law of attraction, but they're just, plain. Yours are fancy. Yes, we should do a vision one, and I'll when you do it, I'll share it because that's really cool. I'd also buy one because I love that stuff. Or make a kit where you get a wax seal and a journal and a pen and some stickers or whatever. You make it, I'll promote it. And I'll get one because I love that stuff. And your stuff, you have the most unique things. I love watching your videos. Yeah, it's fun. I spend way too much time on TikTok. I always get the little thing that says, give your thumbs a break. It's kind of like the old Netflix. Are you still watching? It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's good because people, okay, first of all, I learned, which I was shocked, some people can't visualize. So they can't imagine themselves, or they can't picture a win or something. So a lot of these law of attraction things say, visualize or imagine yourself in the new car, picture yourself on the beach or whatever. And some people are like, they don't see images in their mind's eye. So journaling or doing vision boards is a great way to get that visualization out without having to see it in the mind's eye. So that would be a great thing to have, especially for our community. Because I don't think anybody's doing one specifically. There's so many journals out there, but we need one for our community. And then if you're going to come to Vegas, if you do a vendor table, I bet you could sell them too. Because that's one of the things they have. The problem is when I fly, I can't really do a vendor table because it's too hard to lug everything. So I don't do that anymore. But, yeah, that would be interesting. Anyway, so now we're going to talk. This is what happens. I'm doing a live stream for everybody else. It's just Angela and I talking. I should have invited her to go live, but I'm almost finished the laundry and I have 100 things to do before I go to Scottsdale. Yeah, actually, if it's in Las Vegas, you're flying too. You could ship them in advance, but here's what I found. The problem is books are heavy. And one time I shipped a bunch of books and then nobody bought them and I had to ship them all back. And I know, we'll be thinking about you. Anyway, I'll sign off and yeah, it's so fun. Before I go, does anybody have any questions about sweepstakes contests or giveaway? Usually I pre-plan these lives, but I didn't have time today. I just did it because I had some time and I haven't been doing videos and the algorithm likes you to stay on top of it. I know my marketing has done this. It's not good as I do all these other things, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Anyway, thanks so much. I wish everyone the best of luck. Stay tuned because believe me, next week there is going to be a lot of videos posted from the Sweepstakes Convention. And depends on how rowdy we are, we might go live. And I will talk to everyone later. Bye.